If there is a mining opportunity and it's impeded by a blind frog, goodbye freedom. We are going to extract the dividend from Mother Nature's legacy.
This is New Zealand's minister responsible for mining, Shane Jones.
We're going to deal with reality.
Since taking office earlier this year, he's on a mission to transform his country.
We're going to have some certainty for the providers of international capital who are going to help us develop our economy.
Back into the mining powerhouse it once was.
In our permit land, we have 39 historical gold mines, which return 690,000 ounces of gold at an average of 25 grams per tonne.
And when's the last time that they were actually mined?
1950s is when everything stopped.
What you're about to see is my investigation into a country potentially poised to become one of the most gold mining friendly jurisdictions in the world.
Next door to us, they've had one of the biggest discoveries that I've ever seen.
And a new publicly traded company called Ruagold that's taking advantage of this fresh political climate with 2 gold exploration properties on the North and South Islands of New Zealand that show remarkable promise.
We're just 2.8 kilometres from a 1 million ounce deposit at 13 grams that is open in all directions. On surface, we have the same signatures indicating a major system.
It's an opportunity that's attracting talent from the world's top miners.
I'm taking close to an 80% haircut based on salary coming into this, but it's because I see the chance to get on the ground floor and build something massive and have equity growth. And then you've got the New Zealand government and a Tier 1 jurisdiction that are very supportive of us doing it.
This is a story primed for savvy investors, which is why I'm invested in Ruagold. As you'll find out, the team behind this company is responsible for some of the largest gold miners on the planet. The potential gold that lies buried in these hills could translate into a profound, life-changing opportunity.
New Zealand was founded on gold.
This is Simon Henderson, the Chief Operating Officer of Ruagold.
Discoveries of gold in the 1850s bankrolled the South Island, development of our major banks, the funding of the agricultural industry, which grew to support the mining industry. And so for the next 100 years, the development of New Zealand was backstopped by gold mining.
Just swing around through here.
Henderson was part of the geological team that discovered this. The Wharekirauponga, or WKP deposit on New Zealand's North Island. Considered one of, if not the richest gold finds globally in the last 30 years, it's owned by Oceana Gold.
The mineralisation down in this basin.
This is Oceana's Waihi mine, located just 10 kilometers south of their WKP project.
And how many ounces has this mine pulled out?
Just over 10 million ounces.
10 million ounces, and it's still going.
And it's still going.
To help you better understand how valuable this mine is, 10 million ounces of gold, sold at today's gold price, would be worth $20 billion. The Waihi mine and WKP are believed to be part of the same geological system. Just 2.8 kilometers north of WKP is this, the Glamorgan Project. In 2015, Oceana purchased Glamorgan, WKP, and the Waihi mine from Newmont, the world's largest gold miner. They then made the logical decision to work on WKP due to its proximity to the mine. For Ruagold, this was an unbelievable stroke of luck. New Zealand's rules say you must convert an exploration permit to a mining permit by proving up a resource within a decade. If you don't, you must give the land back to the government. Oceana didn't have the bandwidth to explore both WKP and Glamorgan. So when Glamorgan became available, Henderson, having also been part of the geological team that fingered it as a potential gold find, jumped on it.
How big do you think this could be?
Well, I see no reason why Glamorgan couldn't be another WKP. It has all the hallmarks of a major mineralised epithermal system, and yet it hasn't had a drill hole into it. That's exciting.
The exciting thing at Glamorgan, we've only owned it for, or had rights to it for 6 months. We're already seeing rock samples there of 95 grams a tonne on surface.
Welcome to our grandeur offices.
Robert Eckford is Ruagold's CEO. His mining pedigree is second to none. He began his career working in the Congo, then for BHP in Perth, Australia, followed by a stint with Barrick Gold.
I then moved from the bigger multi-billion-dollar companies, and I joined Neil Woodger and Frank Juster when we started Leargold. And so I joined Leargold when it was a shell. We were kicking that company off from scratch. And over that next 3 years, we bought 4 mines. We packaged them up and sold them off to Equinox.
Equinox merged with Leargold in 2020 in a deal worth nearly $600 million.
I stayed on with Equinox for a couple of weeks before I found out that Neil was ready to go again. And between Neil and myself and Doug Bowlby, we started Aris Mining. And for the last 4 years, again, have built that company from scratch all the way up to the 500+ million market cap company it is today, with NYSE listing and TSX listing.
What do you think is the #1 lesson you've learned working with all those companies and those individuals?
I think what they've really taught me is trying to balance that risk and discipline. You need to take the risk to get the reward. At the same time, you need to be disciplined when you do it and know when to cut and move to the next area, or when to continue on in the same area, and make sure you're doing it as if it's your own money and you're not just spending shareholder money.
And finding the right balance between risk and discipline is what Robert and his Chief Operating Officer Henderson are attempting to do, not only at Glamorgan on New Zealand's North Island, but also down on the spectacular South Island.
I love being a geologist.
This is Jamie Cudby, Ruagold's supervising geologist.
I get to come out into the bush most days, finding stuff, being an explorer. There's just nothing better.
Cudby and the Ruagold team are using a science-based approach to explore old gold mines like this one, in the Reefton Goldfields area of the South Island.
The Reefton Goldfields has had a rich history of gold mining dating back before the 1850s. There's a lot of things left in the old mines. There's new greenfields discoveries that we're getting. There's just a lot of prospectivity down here.
Ruagold is drilling targets throughout their project area, a geographic space that includes nearly 40 historical gold mines that produced almost 700,000 ounces of gold at an average grade of 25 grams per ton. None of them have been touched since the 1950s, meaning this is virgin territory, ready for 21st century geological exploration methods to be applied.
There's 39 deposits that have been worked historically, but they really comprise 10 significantly large vein systems. And we're focused on the best of those 10 deposits. What's exciting about them is that they're really high grade.
Why are high-grade gold discoveries so important now?
Grade is king. All right. The higher the grade, the more economic, the more profit you're going to make.
The Ruagold team is using cutting-edge tools that are helping find clues about where more gold might be.
We have a drone and it is magnetically surveying quite large areas in high detail. Typically, magnetic surveys are done with a helicopter. You can't get quite as low to the ground and it's not as defined. So this way we can fly our own surveys and be independent and gain some very detailed magnetic results.
These magnetic results help Ruagold map areas highly likely to contain gold, speeding up the exploration process. They then sample the ground and, if results are good, begin drilling. And the results so far are very promising.
Ruagold has already came up with a completely new gold discovery. Whether it's economic, that's our challenge, but it does augur very well.
Mining is all about reputation and track record. If you've done it before, there's a good chance you could do it again. Between the board and management, Ruagold's team has been responsible for selling several major mining firms for a total of nearly $4 billion. The board also includes an integral member of the group that transformed K92 mining into a staggering success story. Purchased from Barrick Gold for a mere $2 million cash in 2015, today K92 has a market capitalization of nearly $1.5 billion and is regarded as one of the world's top gold mines. This is the team backing Ruagold, and a big part of the reason I'm an investor. They clearly smell an opportunity here.
You've found so far that the government of New Zealand has been extremely welcoming of you and facilitating what you're trying to do.
New Zealand had elections last year. We got a brand new government that's come into power. Shane Jones, the mine minister, has publicly said that they want to fast-track mining.
Fast track for mining, fast track for energy, fast track for infrastructure. That's the future coming in your direction.
If there were to be a change in government, is that any kind of concern to you?
You know, we've operated under a whole range of governments over the last 40 years, and we continue to be able to mine, we continue to be able to develop our resources. So I think it's business as usual, but it's very nice to have a very positive government behind us right now.
So you know that investors have a lot of places they can park their money. And quite frankly, in this game, it's tough to find deals that are worth putting money into. Why do you think that Rua Gold is something that investors should put money into?
The real strategic opportunity for Rua Gold right now is 10 significant historical deposits in that Reefton area, produced 690,000 ounces at a recovered grade of 25 grams, and we are just readying to drill those targets. That's exciting. But add in Glamorgan, it's just 2.8 kilometres from a 1 million ounce deposit at 13 grams that is open in all directions. That is a fantastic neighbour, but add to that on surface we have the same signatures indicating a major system.
You're giving up a job. You're leaving a company that's one of the largest, quite frankly, gold miners in the Western Hemisphere to work at this small little junior gold explorer. Why are you doing that?
It's quite simple. It's because we're coming in at the ground floor. It's significantly undervalued based on the information we already know. We already have drills turning. We know there's high-grade gold in the area, and we're going to create something very valuable.
And you think you can do it?
We will do it.